are you kidding? I'm a guy who drove an electric car for 4 years. I'd like to see no fossil burning fuels. I'd like to see zero CO2 emissions, not our local global climate action plan that talks about rolling them back 20% from 1990 levels. I'd like to see no polluting power plants in or around San Francisco. I'd like to see tidal harvesting. I'd like to see wave harvesting as it relates to renewable energy. I'd like to see solar panels on every municipal building, as well as all of our stoplights and all of our other LEDs across the state. I'd like to see comprehensive curriculum in our schools as it relates to environmental stewardship. I'd like this city to be the example for the rest of the country.
In San Francisco, recycling is like a religion. They really want to make a difference in their everyday lives, and this is making a difference. How do you create a good recycling program? How do you actually do it? And this is a great example. It's a real partnership that we have with the garbage company. In most cities, the more they send to landfill, the more money they make. We wanted to shift the entire economic equation on its head and say, how can we incentivize recycling? We set the rates, the city, and the rates basically say that the more the garbage company recycles, the more money they make. We have two targets. One is to get to 75% diversion by 2010, and the other is to get to zero waste by 2020. So the only way to do that is to get as much stuff in one place and then sort it. So we spent $49 million building this recycling facility, with really the purpose of getting it as efficient as possible. It's not efficient for homeowners to sort. They don't do it well. So you can see the plastic going up through here, and all this plastic is used for the domestic market. The paper, most of the paper is sent overseas, but the plastic and the aluminum stays here. The number one export leaving the west coast of the United States is paper. And it's going to China, and it's going to India. The number one export. So basically the purpose of sorting is to get a product at the end of the day that you can sell. And the cleaner the product, the easier it is to sell and the more money you get for it.
Well, that's the thing, and we'll be talking about it all week. The reality is it's not an or, it's an and. You can be environmentally friendly and steward future growth of the environment and sustainability and create jobs of the future. And that's the great missing link as it relates to the nation's environmental policy or lack thereof, is they're not linking economic growth with environmental sustainability. We'd like to be the city that leads by example.
We're really trying to work with every stakeholder group possible, from the business community to teachers to children. We bring children here and say, you know, this is your garbage. Either you can produce less of it, or you can make sure that it's recycled and put in the right bin. You know, we live in a very disposable society, and so people I don't think they think about the consequences of where their consumer products go. And this actually gives you hope. You know, it can be recycled, but the real goal, obviously, is to not have it in the first place. So of the 3 R's, you know, the first one is reduce, and then it's reuse, and then it's recycle. I think people have turned that on their head, and if it can be recycled, then let's forget about reusing it or reducing the amount. So we're really trying to get people to think a little bit differently about how they can recycle. Recycle's at the end. Let's reduce the amount we use to begin with.
Put yourself out of a job.
No, we'd like to do that. Yeah.